Hey, I'm Mike and today I'm showcasing an incredible commander that's hitting Brawl with Modern Horizons 3, Nadu, Winged Wisdom. The bird is a 3/4 for 1 green and a blue and is the perfect simming commander. Swooping in from Amonkhet, this Aven flying wizard gives all creatures we control, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it is a land, put it onto the battlefield, otherwise put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. At a glance this is mediocre, right? You are thinking, well, this is like Thrasios that only triggers twice. Let's unpack it. Nadu gives the ability to all creatures you control, and every individual creature can have its ability trigger at most twice. The lands end up the battlefield untapped. And finally the card we get if it's not a land, well, that goes directly into our hand. It's not a draw effect, so we are not hindered by Narset, Bowmasters or Fairy Mastermind-like effects. All of this combined together makes Nadu into a flawless foul commander. Now, let's brew the deck, and then we will jump into real gameplay on MTG Arena. Let's get to the deck building. Let's start with spells that have X in the cost. Doppelgang is interesting, right? Let's add it to the list. Elusive Otter is an amazing choice because we will, for X and green, target X creatures we control, and also can come back as a creature, so excellent choice for our deck. Tapping creatures, opponents and step, it's an interesting technology. We will definitely be including March of the Swirling Mist. Not only we can phase out our creatures, but it is just a good card, even ignoring Nadu's ability. We want to include Tatjova for all the landfall triggers. The stratagem is not a bad card for our deck, but for 4 mana we would effectively be drawing 3 cards, and it's a flicker effect at instant speed. Let's add it to the deck. We will probably end up cutting it. Let's look for landfall triggers that also target. Bristly Bill triggers on landfall that interacts very well with Nadu, and it targets creatures, so whenever we get a landfall trigger, Nadu will trigger because we will be targeting the creatures. That's amazing. Definitely great. Include Bristly Bill in Roaring Earth. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. That's pretty much what Bristly Bill does, so also an easy include. We can definitely have 2 of this effect. Another way to target our creatures is with equipment. So let's search for equipments that have cheap equip. There are not too many, but there is leather armor. 0, we can equip it once. In our deck that is effectively 1 free card. Ponzo for 0 mana is reasonable, everything else costs more, so we will only be playing the good equipments. We don't need too many of this effect. The boots for Ward 1 are decent, maybe let's include them. Let's see how that goes. Go-Shintai for 1 and 1, allowing us to untap lands. Could be interesting. Let's include the Swift Foot boots, just because Hexproof is amazing. We will be fighting hard to keep Nadu on the board. Soul Cauldron does target. It targets only 1 per turn. It is instant speed as well. It has Graveyard Hate if we need it. But let's see how it works. Archdruid's Charm targets 1 creature. The other modes are fairly powerful. Let's include it. We might not end up playing it, but let's put it in the deck. Symmetry Sage. Whenever we cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, target creature has base power 3 until end of turn. That's incredible, right? For 1 mana, targeting our creatures. That is great. Let's include Symmetry Sage. Bushwhack is playable. It does target a creature we control, or it fixes our mana. It is a sorcery though. Looking at clones, the templating is such that they are not targeting, they are just choosing the cards. The effect is so good that we want to include at least the Phyrexian Metamorph, the best clone we have in our format. It doesn't target, but just having the ability to clone something is important enough. Decisive Denial. It is a counter spell for non-creatures, and it can target. Let's include it. Enter the Unknown. Target creature you control explores. You may play an additional land this turn. We will be playing a lot of lands, and it targets a creature. It is at sorcery speed only, which is fine because we want to play the land afterwards. So we want to play this in our main phase anyway. I think this is actually playable. Essence Capture. It does target our creatures, triggering Nadu. Let's try it. Essence Flag is a great include. It not only targets a creature we control, but if we flicker Nadu, it resets the abilities on all creatures, meaning that we can trigger them effectively more than 2 times a turn. Fight rigging is a repeatable way to target our creatures. Let's include fight rigging. Tassa Deep Dwelling. It does target a creature we control on our end step, so that's repeatable. Are we getting enough ETBs from our creatures? Honestly, not really. Tassa may be not good in our deck. Applied Biomancy can do both target a creature and then return target creature to its owner's hand. So in theory we can buff our creature, trigger Nadu, and then also return opponent's creature. That's a lot of value. Let's try it in the deck. Sky Turtle is a great channel effect. It works better in Kinnan, where we can spin this card onto the battlefield. In Nadu, we would have to actually cast it, but the effects are strong enough that probably can be in the deck. Fading Hoe can target our creatures to save them, but also it's just a 1 mana bound spell, so we will include that. Glorious Gale is similar to Essence Capture, which we added earlier, but the effect is not as good because choosing a Ring Bearer doesn't target the creature. This would just be a bad 2 mana counter target creature spell. We are definitely playing Command Tower, Arcane Signet. There's no need for Reliquary Tower. We will just shape our hand into whatever form we want it to be. Psy Rift, instant speed bounce, amazing, we want it. Ristic Study, yeah, might as well get it. The card draw is great. Llanowar Elves. It will help get Nadu onto the battlefield. We need more creatures so that we can target them, so sure. Let's include Llanowar Elves. Delighted Halfling because we want the uncounterable Elvish Mystic as a copy of Llanowar Elves. Gilded Goose is just too slow, we don't want it. We need to decide whether we are a landfall deck or a creature deck. We should be a landfall deck instead. So maybe we don't want all the copies of Llanowar Elves and Elvish Mystics. Let's cut the Elves. Loam Speaker, that gives us a 4/4. Perhaps we could have Loam Speaker in the deck. Ronas. 2 mana to add 4 mana. Then again, it's just green mana. It doesn't give us mana fixing. We can include the Ornithopter because it is good mana fixing. And since we are looking at mana dorks, let's also add the Grazer. We are playing a lot of land, so this is likely ramping up us in the early turns. And Kami, which is a similar effect. Let's look at other landfall triggers. Of course, we included Bristly Bill. Lotus Cobra and Nissa are great in landfall decks for obvious reasons. We will be getting a lot of mana from them, so that's a great choice. Skewed Swarm, an easy include in a landfall deck, so is Tatioa. Springheart Nantuko doesn't work that well in our deck. It costs 1 and a green to target a creature, and then on a landfall trigger, we can pay more to have copies of it. If we don't, we create 1/1 insects. I'm not sold on this card. It's okay, but I don't see how it works with our strategy. Tireless Provisioner, a decent card giving us treasures or food in our landfall deck, so yeah, let's see how it works. Well, that's it for landfall triggers. Let's check the deck list again. We added a bunch of creatures. We still need to figure out our lands and our counter spell package. We are at 41 cards, so if we add about 40 lands, we'll be at maybe 80. Let's add the lands that we know for a fact we are actually playing. Fetches, we are in Simic, so we are playing everything that can search for green or blue. Of course, we are including Boseiju and Otawara. Cavern of Souls is an easy include. Prismatic Vista is probably decent. We'll see how we are doing on land. Maybe we don't need to play it. Plaza could be a protection for our commander. The issue with Seagate is that if we are already low on cards, it doesn't draw us extra cards. It is a untapped land. I'm not feeling it in this deck. We will already have a lot of cards from Nadu in our hand, so we don't need Seagate Restoration. We should include Field of Ruin and Demolition Field, just so that we have an ability to get rid of opponents' pesky lands. Emergent Zone, if we have enough slots, we should include Emergent Zone. If we are including Emergent Zone, maybe we should also add the 2 mana instant, Born Upon Wind. It draws a card, and then we can cast anything everything at flash speed, so let's include Born Upon Wind. We are including Waterlogged Grove. The card draw, if we need it, can be crucial. I wonder whether we should be including Mutavault so that we have a backup creature that we can target with our spells or equipment and trigger Nadu. Mutavault is one of the cheapest there is, so let's add it in the deck. Garden Intercept, but it does create a 0/1 that we can then target and equip and use to draw cards. So I think that's a decent include. Botanical Sanctum as a fast land, I think we can get away with. Hedge Maze, the Surveil is so much stronger than Scry or any of the other tapped land abilities. We want to be playing Hedge Maze for sure. Desert could be playable. It targets a creature, could be ours, which will trigger Nadu. Let's add it to the deck. If we have enough colors, Desert could be playable. Arid Archway. We are a landfall deck, so returning lands to our hand is a reasonable thing to do, and it's a good ramp. Let's include it. Also, sometimes this can get our Boseiju or Otawara back into our hand. Archway of Innovation gives our next spell Improvise. We are not playing enough artifacts to make this worthwhile. Hydroelectric Specimen. I wonder how this works with Nadu, whether if we change the target, whether it counts as having targeted. It probably does. And here it is. Shifting Woodland requires a forest to enter untapped, and then it becomes a copy of target permanent in our graveyard until end of turn. If we have Delirium. We definitely want to be playing this. We are already at 25 lands, we still need to include basics, but we have enough space to include the Urza's Cave. Mystic Sanctuary is good, we can fetch it with fetch lands, and we have enough instants or sorceries to make this worthwhile. Also, putting it on the top of our library means that we can get it with Nadu. Mystic Sanctuary should be pretty good in our deck. We are already playing the Mutavault. Nexus is almost as good, and it can also target itself for 3 mana effectively because we need to tap it. It can trigger Nadu, so let's include the Nexus. We are currently at 70 cards, we have 30 lands, so we can fit in 10 more, and we still need our counterspell package, and honestly we need our top end as well. Let's start with the good counterspells first. Mana Drain, an easy include. Narset's Reversal could copy our spells as well, and then we get another trigger of the targeting, so I think that's a decent include, and of course it can be used on opponent spells as well. 3 Steps Ahead is proving to be a very viable counterspell, even though it costs 3 mana. The Serenade could be good enough in Brawl, let's include that. Offer You Can't Refuse, for instance, and sorceries as well as any other non-creature spells is great. Tidebinder is an absolute beast that we want to be playing. Counterspell, just plain counterspell. In our deck, yeah, we probably want to be playing counterspells as well, even though we already have the Mana Drain. Tails, and for our opponent's commanders, that works. Hullbreaker Horror. We have enough mana, and we have enough spells that we can cast at instant speed, so yeah, Hullbreaker Horror definitely works. Mistcast is probably not good enough, but let's add it to the deck, we can get it later. Memory Lapse, we definitely want to be playing, that's a good card. Wash Away is decent, and it has gotten better as it also can counter Grenzob stuff as well as Etali and others. So that's it for the counterspell package. With Hullbreaker we can also have Hullbreaker Loop, so let's include Mox Ember. That also works great because our commander is only 3 mana. Ornithopter for 0 is decent. We are already playing Bonesaw, which also could be part of the loop. We definitely want to include some tutors. Let's include Finale of Devastation and Invasion. It can get Hullbreaker or it can get anything else. Rexage, destroy target artifact or enchantment, fabricate for an artifact and put it into our hand. That can work with our equipment, and also it can find the One Ring. So let's include the One Ring. Sylvan Safekeeper. It can target a creature we control at instant speed for sacrificing a land. We will be having a lot of land, and then it's just a trigger on Nadu. Sylvan Safekeeper is a great include in our deck. We have enough space in our deck for 1 more protection spell, so it's probably the Safekeeping. Hexproof and Indestructible. Let's do that. We'll be playing probably 5 forests for now. Let's see how the colors shape up, but maybe 6 each, so that we are at 40 lands exactly. We also can consider Harbinger of the Seas. For 3 mana, non-basic lands are islands. It will stop many strategies. It will also stop us, as we are playing non-basic lands. We are playing some basics. I'm not sold on Harbinger, but let's see how it works. Alright, so we need to cut 4 cards. Let's keep the land base as it is for now. The Salt Cauldron only targets once a turn. Maybe that can be moved to considering. The Charm is a 3 mana for a Strange Tutor and then targeting 1 creature. I don't think we can include that. The Charm goes. Born upon event doesn't really help us win the game, so Born goes. And honestly, so does Emergent Zone. We don't need it, but we will add an extra basic to compensate. I think we can cut Miscast. We have enough counter spells already, and this one being conditional just does not cut it. So yeah, that brings us to our final 100. We have 40 lands, bunch of creatures, ways to target our creatures repeatably. We have instants that either counter opponent strategies or help Nadu and our creatures survive. And then we have couple tutors for either getting the One Ring so that we can get more cards and get closer to winning the game, or outright bring the top end out of our library onto the battlefield. With Invasion of Ikoria and Finale of Devastation, we can fetch Hullbreaker Horror or just draw into it naturally with Nadu. And then with Hullbreaker, it should be fairly easy to win. Alright, well, that's it for the deck list. I'll go ahead, put it into MTG Arena, and we can get to the gameplay. Before we get to the gameplay, please like the video, subscribe, let me know if there are any cards that I missed that should be included in the deck, any cool interaction with Nadu. Comment down below. Now let's get to the gameplay. I'm so excited. Our hand is glorious. We have one of the best equipments from our deck in our hand. We have Ornithopter to ramp us, and then on turn 3 we have Nadu. Eventually we will get to playing Ristic Study and countering the enchantment. So yeah, this is great. Come on, opponent, let us play. We have a decision to make. Do we play the Lost Cheetah on turn 1? Or do we play the Hedge Maze? Maybe we don't play Ornithopter on turn 2 and rather have the Cheetah? No, that doesn't make sense. Let's play the Hedge Maze, then on turn 2 we play Ornithopter, and then on turn 3 we will play Nadu and the Cheetah as well. Alright, opponent will ramp, we will get the Ornithopter out. Could have also we could have held up the Tail's End, but we'll be fine. We will figure out what to do with opponents' enchantments. Shrines are good. We know that, but hopefully we can interact with them. Yep, they have the mana. Oh my god, they didn't play the Shrine. Alright, so next turn we are definitely Oh, I'm silly. Yeah, well, yeah, that's great. Good for you, opponent. I guess we are just dead. We cannot be, cannot rely on the Tail's End anymore. Narset's Reversal won't do anything there. So yeah, rough start. Which one is this? Opponent draws a card. Sure. And they play 1/1s. Alright. So, I guess we equip here. We trigger Nadu, we get Elusive Otter. Cool. Does that do anything? Yeah, I mean, I guess we played anyway, right? So we pay 2. Oops. I'll try again. We play 2. We target Ornithopter of Paradise and Nadu. We submit. We get 2 triggers. We get a Symmetry Sage and Nisa. And yeah, I mean, that's great, but also Wish we had the Symmetry Sage before. I'll just cast the Symmetry Sage because whatever. And hit the opponent for 4. They don't have anything flying, so might as well. Now we can untap our land. Let's untap the let's untap the command tower, and we can re-equip to the Symmetry Sage and get a Sylvan Safekeeper. Alright, well, we are not looking forward to sacrificing our lands, but we have the option, and at least it's a 1 mana creature that we can target. Symmetry Sage is glorious. All we need is any of the instants we have in our deck that can do stuff. We just used one, the Gross Bounty, but we have plenty more in our deck, we just need to find them. Our opponent will probably get too far ahead this turn, but if we somehow still are in the game after their turn, we will end up playing Nissa and the fetch land. We will have 5 mana after that. And yeah, depends on what we draw. I would rather not use the mana on the Lost Dite on equipping, but if we have to, perfectly reasonable. Yeah, that's a scary board. They have Shroud on everything, so yeah, good for them. We can of course block the 2-2. Oh, okay, yeah, good for your opponent. I will still block the 2-2. Alright. They can generate a lot of mana with the Sanctum Weaver, but they decide not to use it. Yeah, we play the Nissa here. And now what? Do we play the fetch land? And if we do, what do we do with the mana? I guess we don't have to crack it immediately. So if we get green here, we can equip Nadu. Hopefully we get a land and trigger Nissa. Amazing, and we get Demo Field. Cool. Let's get green. Okay, Rex Sage doesn't hit anything. I mean, it does hit the heart, but we don't care. Yeah, the Oromancy together with the Grove is rough. We can't really interact with that in any way. So Rex Sage doesn't really help us. What do we do with the Finale of Devastation? We already have Nissa. We cannot get the enchantment that bestows, or we could, but it wouldn't bestow, it would just do nothing. I guess we get the Sylvan Safekeeper for its ability. Demo Field doesn't do anything, so we can just equip here. Let's equip Nissa, doesn't really matter that much. Alright, we get a Grazer. Grazer doesn't do anything for us in this situation. We need to have 2 mana open, so we do this again. We equip Nadu. We get a trigger. Opponent, what are you doing? Opponent decided our shenanigans were too much for them. I mean, I don't blame them, but at the same time they have all shrines, so... Okay, we got there. It's a tapped land, but, you know, pretty good still. I guess we re-equip here, just because why not? So we put it on the Symmetry Sage. If we get another land, we are happy. We do not get another land, and we need to keep the mana open, so we just pass here. We get rid of the Grazer. Maybe it was supposed to be the Rex Sage. Yeah, opponent drew like a million cards. Borrowed time. Well, it will target. It will target Nadu. So we can do that. This will trigger Nadu. I will resolve. Now I will activate this, target Nadu, and I will sacrifice a demo field. I will trigger Nadu again. I will get blue and pass. Well, that went fine. And the One Ring, incredible. And we can Tails End it. And now we can target Sylvan Safekeeper and trigger Nadu. Okay, now we are cooking. This is great. We got the March. This is going so well. Enter the Unknown, unfortunately a sorcery. Wish we had something instant speed to use up the mana we have, but we don't have to use it now. Sure. Well, we only have the one. Oh, I'm silly. We could have countered it, because we would have gotten mana from Nissa. But yeah, our opponent tapped for 8 mana, so let's see what they search for. We'll probably end up countering... Oh, Sanctum of All. Okay, yeah, that's a good target for a counter spell. Do we counter this? It's just a bunch of 1/1s. What we need to find is Cyclonic Rift. Do we let this resolve? I think we do. That's fine. They cycle. And do they have enough mana to draw it? They do not. Okay, so we pass. That's great. And now it's our turn. We get an Archway. So many options. We definitely start with Enter the Unknown. We let Symmetry Sage explore. We target it, so we get the triggers. Then we make it have better base power. We trigger Nadu. We trigger Nadu again. We get a land. We resolve the effect and we get blue. And now we finally get the Explore trigger. Yes, we will want that. We also want to play the Earth so that we have a landfall trigger. Now we get Archway, triggering Roaring Earth. We put counter on Symmetry Sage. And we will return a forest to our hand. We could, well, we could return the Archway. No, let's return a forest. Let's get green. We drew Land of Elves. We can replay the forest. We get a trigger. We put it on Symmetry Sage. Opponent has no flying creatures. We play... what do we do here? We get Unctus. Do we? Yeah, let's get the Unctus. We put that on the Ornithopter. Yeah, it was targeted, so we get Cavern for a... doesn't really matter to us, does it? But, I mean, it's a bird, so let's say bird. I cannot type. Alright, bird, got there. Target Sylvan Safekeeper. Oh, I thought we are targeting for something else, but it's fine. We get +1/+1 on Nadu. We trigger Nadu. We get a Flusterstorm trigger. We get a blue mana. We get +1/+1 on something. We get a Nissa trigger. We get blue. I mean green. We get a Symmetry Sage, and then finally we search for Unctus. Or we can shut our opponent down. No, they have basics. We could get Skewed Swarm, so that we combat opponents' stuff. That's pretty good. March of the Swirling Mist doesn't do anything now, because we cannot target their stuff. So we use the mana to target Nadu. Hopefully triggering, yes, lovely. We put that on Nadu. Skewed Swarm triggers, we get green. We equip Symmetry Sage. That was a mistake, it already triggered before. We trigger a Sylvan Safekeeper. We need to keep better track of what we already targeted. We target Skewed Swarm. Cool. We target the new Skewed Swarm. We get a land. We target Skewed Swarm. We get another trigger. And we found the Psy Rift. We cast... No, we do not cast Big Psy Rift. Okay. We target the new Skewed Swarm. We get triggers. We target the other new Skewed Swarm. We crack the fetch land. If we can get to enough mana, we will be happy. But yeah, at least we get the landfall triggers and stuff. So yeah, we target the new one. And we get blue. We have... Oops. Oh no. Too many cards. Psy Rift. We still don't have enough mana. We still don't have enough mana to do what we wanted. That's unfortunate. How can we get there? We get more Skewed Swarms. We target Skewed Swarm, we get a trigger. We get more Skewed Swarms, we get a trigger. Alright, it wasn't a land, but it was a Lotus Cobra, so that's probably going to get us to enough land for the Psy Rift. Did we get there? Let's see. Cyclonic Rift for the full cost. And we Symmetry Sage that, and we trigger all the Roaring Earths again. Let's target one of the new ones. Hopefully we don't time out here, but we should be fine. We resolve all. And let's get blue just in case. Opponent's stuff is bounced. Well, this is as good as it gets. We have 12, 15, 17. We have 20 damage if I'm looking at it, right? Could be enough. We don't have any counters on the Lost Dite. So we have 12 on Nadu and Symmetry Sage. Plus 4 is 16. Plus 5 is 21. We have 21 exactly. This is so good. Well, our opponent probably decided to bulk away from the computer. Can't really blame them. We were dawdling around a little bit, but oh my god, look at the state of this board. We have all of this we built in this turn. We get so many landfall triggers. We got the Skewed Swarm, copy, into a copy, into copies. It went so well. The only blunder was when I targeted Symmetry Sage more than twice. Oh, okay, so that's nice. The ability goes grey when the creature can no longer be targeted. Oh, I mean, it can still be targeted, of course, but it won't trigger again. So that's a good way to look at it. And yeah, we can just move to combat, attack, and hopefully win on the spot. Wow, what a game. Nadu is incredible. This is awesome. So good. Incredible game. We are fighting Ulalek, Fused Monstrosity. With a pretty good hand. Turn 1 tapped land, then into an island and Bristly Bill, the Spine Sower. I love it. Ulalek's 5 mana. And they have a ramp spell. Cool. Yeah, well, we have to play the bill. Pay the bill? No, play the Bristly Bill is what I meant to say. They tirelessly provision. We do not draw what we want. What I wanted was an island so that we can counter the thingy. Well, I guess it goes on the... Well, this is not great, is it? How do we deal with Ulalek? It's just a copy. We can wash it away, I guess. Can't play anything else, though. Yeah, let's trade the bill. Can't imagine our opponent blocking here, but honestly, if they do, good for them. Yeah. If people knew how Nadu works, I would not have played like this. But since they don't understand how Bristly Bill works with Nadu, this is just 3-2 damage. And I really don't mind taking 3 from the Provisioner. They get secluded courtyard. Oh my god, why are they creating food? I mean, hello? Yeah, let's take 3 damage. Well, let's get Nadu out. And Mystic Sanctuary is probably not going to be helpful anytime soon. So let's just get a counter on the plant. And another counter on the plant. From the 2 Bristly Bill / Nadu triggers. And yeah, here we can attack our opponent for 5. Ploink, ploink, and pass. I still can't believe that they created the food instead. If they created treasures instead, they could have recasted Ulalek. Well, I mean, speaking of, but... cool. What do they cascade into? A mirror. Alright. That's fine. No, seriously, that's fine. I don't care. The Nexus is fun because for 2 mana it can become a creature and target itself. Pretty strong. How do we deal with this? Playing Tatyova probably doesn't really move the needle. 3 steps ahead might. Yeah, I think we get the trigger here. Target Nadu, get another trigger. Lovely, we actually did get another trigger. Okay, let's target, I mean, let's choose Bird. Not that it matters against opponent's deck, I don't think. And what else? Yeah, put it on Bill. We already used all our triggers on Nadu. We have 1 more on Bill. We will target the plant next. We are running low on creatures actually, so it's kind of funny. Do we attack here? We can double the counters at instant speed. If our opponent doesn't block, we may want to do that. They didn't. Alright. I mean, I'll activate it. GG. That was fun. We are looking at Boots, Mana Drain, Rexage, Card Draw, Interistic Study, Must Keep. Well, I was going to play something else, but since we drew the Halfling, gotta play the Halfling first to get it out of Summoning Sickness. And then What do we do? We can bounce to Grove. It's kind of interesting. We can play the boots here. I think we're gonna. Oh, we have 1 mana in the Halfling as well. So maybe instead... Yeah, I think we are supposed to cast our commander here. It can be uncounterable as well, so... I need to remember what this does. Sacrifice it unless it escapes, and then it does stuff. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. We didn't want the creature all that much anyway. So we have 2 mana, potentially 3, or we can ramp. I think we are just getting the boots out. The ward may be important, so let's get the boots on our creature. Let's attack first. And Archway getting the growth back. We will discard. Do we have time for Ristic Study? Yeah, I think between Ristic Study and the One Ring, we would rather keep the One Ring. We don't have time for anything else. I'm kind of hoping our opponent will give us a target for the reclamation stage, but no luck so far. We replay the land, and what do? We can hold up the mana drain. That's probably the safest choice. We could also play the Rec Sage and then target it with the... Yeah, no, let's just attack and mana drain whatever our opponent does, and then on the next turn we will mana drain. We will mana drain and then we will cast the One Ring with the mana. And we will still have Narset's Reversal open on the next turn, so... Expressive Iteration. I think I will counter that. It is 2 free mana that we will be able to use, and our opponent is likely digging for more land. Yeah, they meant, that's fine. Draw to discard 2. They get rid of the Crater Hoof. Of course they did. And they found the land, so yeah. Good for them. Happy that they are not stuck on land. We kind of are though. I can't believe that with Nadu we are only at 3 lands. Technically 4, but yeah, anyway. So we get the Metamorph. We will play our land as well. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 mana here. Invasion of Ikoria can get Bristly Bill. Maybe I should have done that before I played land then. Metamorph doesn't do that much. I think I will play it safe. I will cast the One Ring, use up the colorless mana that we didn't have any use for otherwise. Then I will attack our opponent. And we can draw here and still have the Narset's Reversal open. Destroy target artifact. We could face out Nadu and prevent this. I think I will do just that. That will protect it too, so... Oops, I misclicked. I meant to pay 1. Submit no cards, and then target there. We get a trigger of Nadu. It faces out, we get another card. The thing is, the boots are even not that good, since Nadu is our only creature. If we had more creatures, oh my god, they managed to destroy or rather exile the One Ring. Good for them. We don't need it. It would have been great, but we don't need it. Ooh, Desert. Desert's a fun little technology. Let's pay 2 mana to find Bristly Bill, and then with the Desert we can trigger it And then get another one of the... Ooh, should I get Lotus Cobra instead? No, let's get Bristly Bill. I think it's more fun. Bristly Bill. Yep, let's target Nadu. Can we get another land? No, but Bonesaw is also great. It's even better, actually. Let's target Arcane Signet, sure. How does this work again? To target attacking creature, so maybe I should not have done that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I think I'll get in with the battle. Very good. Very good indeed. That's an 8-8. And now we can target the 8-8 like this. Get another land like this. Get another land like this. That was... Oh my god, we are getting fairly lucky here. Cool, that stops the chain. I mean, yeah, Signet, right? And then hold up Narset's Reversal. The deck is so explosive. We, like at the beginning of this turn, we had Nadu, and we managed to get Bristly Bill out and all the rest. Did we transform the invasion in the same turn? Oh my god. Oh my god. They will not like this. I will put that on Nadu, I think. Resolve that. Resolve Bristly Bill. Resolve this. Put it on Bristly Bill. Resolve that. Resolve that. And then we Narset reverse. March doesn't do anything without all the creatures. Specimen also doesn't do much. Patioa's great, Cyclonic Rift's great, but yeah, we can do better than this. Yeah, it's alright. Tail's End doesn't... Okay, that's a good draw. So we play a green land, Grazer, the Heath. Oh, I forgot it. Enters the battlefield tapped. That's fine. I was hoping for the sec land, but unnecessary. I mean sec land. I was hoping for the survey land, of course. Do we hold? I think we do. Then again, no. Green? Yeah, green is fine. Our opponent is impatient. They play a Cloud Key. How nice for them. Don't you just love it? Can we draw a land? Cool. They do stuff. We have Essence Flux. Well, let's play Nadu and then pass. Can't do much else. Ristic Study was a consideration, I suppose. But Nadu on the battlefield is better than Ristic Study. Nadu probably draws us more cards on our next turn, if we get to it. An opponent didn't cast Ulamog, so I feel like we can get there. Well, not like that though. Not like that we cannot. Fight rigging. Fight rigging we cannot use. Let's go for the damage. Let's trigger Nadu again. Now Nadu is done, so we need to target the Grazer. We need to target the Grazer again. Very good. And we got a creature. Okay, this was amazing. So we do what? We do fight rigging. And Skewed Swarm. Yeah, that works. Unfortunately, I messed up. I should have played the Ornithopter, so we have more to trigger. But that's fine. We can get the Skewed Swarm next turn if we survive opponent's shenanigans. And now we have reset the trigger count, so we can crack our fetch lands and Tails and the Ulamog. Shadow Spear, sure. How nice. Well, they have enough mana to cast it. The question is, will they? Or are they afraid? They are actually afraid. That's wonderful. Yeah, go for it. You have a Shadow Spear on a Might. Okay. Yeah, enjoy. Well, seeing that we are getting the Skewed Swarm, I think I'm keeping the fetch lands. And I'll move to combat. I'll target Nadu. We get a land, we get another trigger. Opponent, would you like to sack a treasure? What is it that you are cooking? Oh, come on. Don't tell me they gave up. Well, they are using their timeouts. Okay, now we are here. Fight rigging. Confirm it, opponent. We want to play our Skewed Swarm. Well, GG.